Hi guys, my name is Kathleen Charles, a student, and this video is basically to introduce or to say why it is we need the need for authentic assessment in early childhood. Assessment, when we talk about assessment, it is basically the process of gathering and discussing information from multiple and diverse sources in order to develop a deep understanding of what students know, understand, and can do with their knowledge as a result of their educational experience. The process culminates when assessment results are used to improve subsequent learning. This process is basically gathering information from a student using different means of measurement and using that to assess students' academic ability. It could either be written assessment, verbal, or a test or essays. Some could be note-taking, observation, or portfolio. Authentic assessment aims to guide or to gauge students' ability in real-world contents. In other words, students learn how to apply their skills to real-world tasks and projects. Authentic assessment does not encourage rote learning and passive test taking. Instead, it focuses on students' analytical skills, ability to integrate what they learn, creativity, ability to work, collaborate, and written and oral expression skills. It values the learning process as much as the finished product. Authentic assessment, what they're basically saying there is that authentic assessment is a practical way of assessing what the student needs to learn in a more real world situation. It basically to see what the children can do using everyday activity, role learning. Using pen and paper isn't needed. It's more doing than remembering. Creating an authentic assessment. It have identifying a standard, identifying an authentic task, identifying the criteria of task. Create a rubric. Standards are statements. When they say identify a standard, basically means standards are a statement of what the children should know and be able to accomplish it. Example, students will be able to add a two digit correctly. Authentic task. Have students show what they know in meeting a standard. Example, students will now calculate the value of 36 add 32. Identify a criteria. How will I know? This is how I will know they have done a good job on the task, me being the practitioner. It is basically the indicator of good performance on a given task. And the rubric. This is basically developing a grading scheme to assist with a given task that can be used by you, the teacher, or someone else. And the benefits of authentic assessment in early childhood. An argument for AA, which could be the same thing as authentic assessment, is that it doesn't disrupt learning as assessing is done during regular daily routine. Children tend to demonstrate learning at this stage of their development by experimenting with manipulatives or other hands-on materials in a very concrete manner. Right? And unlike other tests where you have to take away the teaching learning time from students, this assessment doesn't do that. This assessment requires simple observation where the teacher can assess the student as they interact with friends or play with manipulative. This doesn't affect the learning of the child. Well, there's a video attached to my PowerPoint presentation, and the video is, as you see, the video shows the teacher assessing the child during lunch. The child recalls colors and numbers. If you look closely, there are no pen or paper tests or hide your book tests. This video also shows development of the child's fine and gross motor skills. This is another argument as well on the same AA. Another argument for AA is that it provides teachers with the true picture of how and where students are in their learning, gives more information about their students' strengths, weakness, needs, performance, and aid them in adjusting structure towards enhanced teaching and learning. Below there's a picture of as well as students play with their manipulators. Unlike pen and paper tests, AA gives the teacher a truer picture of the child's strengths and weakness. Because pen and paper tests, some students are not able to read. Some get nervous. The test atmosphere makes students forget information. Taking these into account, it doesn't give a true picture of the child's ability with AA. There is no fear or nervousness, as the atmosphere never changes as the teacher assesses through the child's daily routine. My final benefits, another argument, is fairness. It does not exist when assessment is uniform, standardized, and absolute. Therefore, assessment is fair when it is personalized, natural, and flexible, when it can be modified to pinpoint specific abilities and function at the relevant level of difficulties, and when it promotes a rapport between teachers and students. With other assessments, some students are at a disadvantage because some are more exposed to others. So a written test may be for some, while a creative practical test may be good for others. In AA fairness, it is critical as the teacher knowing the students will assess their ability using many creative ways, like peer rating or self-rating journals, portfolios, discussion, or interviews. And my conclusion, AA assessment is needed in today's ECCE classroom because it is more creative and it gives a better reading of students' holistic development. So from my video, I hope you guys have gathered some sort of information and be able to understand the importance of authentic assessments in the ECCE environment. Thank you.